guys, I wanted to do a little video today, just a bit of kind of an introductory video to me, but I'm going to do it more in like a tag type video. So I wanted to do the 50 facts about me tag, mainly because I thought it'd be a nice way to introduce you guys to me and like tell you some like random facts about me that probably no one knows. But I thought you guys might enjoy it, so I will get started, and I have them all written down in my book, so I will be looking at them because I can't remember them off the top of my head. So number one of the things that I get the most often is when people look at me directly, they notice that I have a birthmark in my left eye, and most of the time if you mention it to me I will have forgotten about it and then I will remember, but I do since birth have had a birthmark on my iris, my iris, on the left side of it there, and it's always been there. My eyes used to be brown, so you didn't really see it that much, but now they've turned like a greeny, hazily colour. It's a lot more prominent. Number two, if I don't plan out my day or write myself some form of to-do list, I will completely waste my day. Like, really badly. Like, I will sit and watch Netflix, YouTube videos, I will get distracted by games on my phone. It happens, guys. Number three, I spend an obscene amount of time on YouTube, Netflix, and a game I have on my phone called 1010, which is kind of like a Tetris game, but you keep going and going until you can't fit any more squares in your like 10 by 10 square. It's a bit of an addictive game. A little thing about me is I really hate being late. It gives me serious anxiety and stress. And number five, I tend to wear heels pretty much 90% of the time because I'm only 5'3". And even though I'm 5'3", I feel really short, particularly in pictures. So I will wear heels to make myself feel taller. And yes, they hurt. Number six, I wouldn't say I'm OCD. I'm kind of very particular about where I like things. So I like things to have a place, and if something's not in the place that it normally is, I get very stressed and flustered, and like I start to panic about where things have gone and if I've lost something, because I hate losing things. Number seven, I actually learned to play the guitar in high school. I still have two guitars, an acoustic and an electric, that I don't really play anymore, but I can't bring myself to get rid of them. So I'm thinking about maybe relearning to play them. I don't know, we'll see. Number eight, I in high school did all performing arts. Every subject I did. What did I do? I did art, drama, dance and music. For number nine, I actually have pernicious anemia, which I might do a video about this later, but I actually found out a couple of years ago now, and honestly it was the best thing to find out that I actually did have something wrong with me and I wasn't just going nuts. Number 10, I am seriously cold-blooded. Like, I hate the heat. I would much rather live somewhere that it snowed every day than like the middle of the desert. It just doesn't work for me. I love having lazy days with no makeup. Those are literally the best days where you can just get up, stay in your PJs all day and then not do anything. Just watch Netflix and eat yummy food. They're definitely the best. Number 12, I am actually a massive stationery addict. It's a problem, I'm not gonna lie. Number 13, not that you can tell, but I am actually Scottish. I lived in Scotland from when I was born till about 6 or 7 years old, and then I moved down to the Wirral, Liverpool area, so I no longer have my lovely Scottish accent, which I miss. I do miss it. And I have like a kind of, I don't know. 14, I have really weird motivation periods. There will be days when I can be super motivated and I will get absolutely everything I need to do done for the day, and I can then like relax for the rest of the day. And then there's other days when I literally have to like muster all my strength to get off the couch. Number 15 is kind of a bit of a geeky one, but since I was in my teens, I've loved playing the Sims games. I don't know why, just like to play them. And I don't really like to play any other video games, it's mainly just Sims. Number 16, I am a really big pet person. I have a dog, I have a cat, I've had hamsters, what else? I've had fish, I've had them all. I like pets. Number 17, before I went into nursing, I actually applied to be a paramedic, and I don't know why, I just kind of always liked the frontline kind of action of being a paramedic. And then I actually cared for my nana, and that was when I found like that I really liked nursing, and it has been the thing that's stuck, and it's really stuck with me, and I love it. So it was what I was meant to do. Number 18, I have really fragile veins in my arms and pretty much anywhere, so I hate having my blood taken from anyone other than nurses, because it's not like a kind of, oh well, I'm a nurse, I only want a nurse to take it. Every time I've had my blood taken by anyone else, a doctor, a phlebotomist, anyone that's tried other than a nurse, has blew my veins. Number 19, in high school I did a fair bit of work with UNICEF down in London, and I think I was like, I can't remember my official title in high school, but I think it was something like UNICEF ambassador or something in my high school. But I did a lot of work with them, and often went down to London and things on conferences, or people from London would come up and we'd have to do like conference calls and stuff. It was really quite interesting. I don't know if they still do it, or if it was just kind of like a thing for a couple of years that they did, but it was really good. Number 20, every single day I have to start my day off with a cup of tea. I am a big coffee drinker, but I don't know why, I always tend to go back to tea, and like traditional British tea. So I love waking up, having a cup of tea, and if I find like if I don't have a cup of tea when I wake up, I don't tend to start my day off right. It's weird, I've done it for years, I can't stop now. Number 21, I am seriously unflexible. Like, I struggle to touch my toes. I just can't. I've never been able to. Even in dance, I was never really that flexible. Number 22. I forgot what I was up to then. Number 22. I have never attended any funerals up until I was 17. And then kind of my late teens, early adulthood, I seemed to get two in like such a short period. And my first ever funeral was actually for one of my really close best friends. Number 23. Weirdly, I am super emotional with like things like TV programs and when people tell me stories and things like that. But this only happened about 4 or 5 years ago. It really wasn't that often that like I'd see people getting emotional over films and TV programs, and I was just kind of like, I don't know, yeah, okay, it's upsetting, but I don't get it. I don't know if that's like when we become an adult or what, but hey ho, that's what it is. Number 24, I would much rather stay in, have a takeaway, watch films, than I would go out drinking. It's just not for me. I'm really not a big drinker. Number 25, as I mentioned before, I did all performing arts and music and dance and everything like that in high school, and up until my final year of A-levels I actually wanted to become a performer and go down to London and work on like the West End and things like that, and I just kind of... Number 26, I am absolutely horrible at painting my own nails. I'm semi-okay if I have to paint someone else's, and I can kind of paint my left hand okay with like a couple of smudges, and then my right hand's just awful. Number 27, I have a serious addiction to fizzy pop, or like, I don't know what other people call it, like soda. I call it fizzy pop. But it's more particularly Pepsi Max Cherry, with number 28. I have actually been to the Radio City Tower in Liverpool, which is like a radio station, and I've actually been on Radio City 96.7. Number 29. I am naturally bigger busted. Thanks to genetics. I am really, from my frame and for genetics from my mum, I am quite big busted. I unfortunately took after my nana in that department, and I genuinely consider on a daily basis what life would be like and how much easier life would be if I had. When we order takeaway, I will only eat cheese and tomato pizza, no matter like if you can pick your own toppings or anything. I only like to add my own toppings when I make my own. I used to love writing stories and drawing pictures and making like little cards and things for my family when I was much younger, and I really don't think that I've drew anything since I was in high school, when I used to draw regularly. It just didn't seem to be fun anymore because I had to do it for my A-levels. I kind of got bored of it and I was drawing all the time for that, so I fell out of love with it. And that is what 32, fact number 32 is about, is that I took GCSE art and I rarely draw anymore. I can't remember the last time I did. Number 33 is a really, really weird one, but I hate with a passion touching raw chicken. Number 34, I don't know what it is, but it bugs me when anyone over about 23 says like bae or babe. I don't know what it is, but I always just associate them words with like younger kids, like teens, and it just bugs me. I don't know what it is, it just does. Number 35. I don't know where this came from, but ever since I was younger, I've always been taught to finish my plate. And so much so that now, when I'm older, I feel guilty if I don't eat everything that's on my plate. I think probably a lot of people feel like this, but I get really badly guilty, and like, if I don't finish what I'm eating, I will actually eat it the next day. Like, I'll put it in a Tupperware container or take it to work with me or something, but I will make sure that I eat it the next day and I won't just bin it. And if something, like if I know I'm really, really not going to eat it, I will feed it to the dog. Because I hate just binning food. I find it so wasteful. Number 36. I am actually trying to self-teach myself British Sign Language. I've always been fascinated with the actual language since my high school form tutor, which, if no matter what time of day it is, no matter how tired I am, or if I've just gotten up, whenever I yawn, I don't know what it is, and I'm going to yawn now I said it. My eyes, when I do a proper yawn, even now my eyes are watering, my eyes will water every single time that I yawn. Number 38 is quite embarrassing, but I am a small 5'3" girl and I have a double bed. When it comes to changing my bed sheets, I can change everything else on my bed bar my duvet sheet on my own. I cannot for the life of me figure out how to change my duvet sheet on my own. Nothing's worked. Number 39. I love going food shopping. I find it quite therapeutic, and I much prefer going into store and food shopping than like food shopping online. That may change when I get my own place and I'm working like full time as a nurse. That could change, and I'm just doing it when I can online. Number 40, I'm actually the first person in my immediate family, I'm not too sure about my kind of further afield family, to go to university. No one else in my family. My little brother had now followed suit and gone to university to do computer sciences, but when I joined university I was the very first one to. Number 41, my very first job was actually as a waitress. And number 42, ever since I was a little tiny kid, have been obsessed with strawberries and pretty much anything strawberry. This is really embarrassing. Number 43, I am completely oblivious when it comes to anything like romantic or relationships. I think 'cause I'm so work focused at the moment, I just become completely oblivious to everything else. I don't know why. I'm not a very romantic person, to be honest, anyway. Number 44. Going off that point, I didn't actually have a boyfriend till I was about 15, 16. I think because my family was so overprotective, because I'm like the only girl. My brothers were so overprotective that it never really happened until I was 16. Number 45. I don't know how, but I have never, ever been to a music concert, like, ever. Number 46. I am awful at geography. To the point, what was it? I used to get Cardiff and Belfast confused. Was it Cardiff and Belfast? Number 47. I don't really have a favourite colour. I know people always go, oh, yes, my favourite colour is this. But I don't kind of have one. I tend to go through phases of liking a certain colour, or I'm quite kind of seasonal with my colours. So during the winter I quite like berry tones, khaki colours, navy, blacks, and then in the spring I kind of like the lighter whites, pastel-y colours. But I can't say I've got a favourite colour out of all of them. Number 48. I had quite a lucky childhood. I never ever have broken a bone anywhere in my body. The only thing I've ever kind of broken is the ligaments in one of my knee, but they're not really bone. Well, they aren't bone. So I've never actually broken one. So I am presuming that I am going to be a massive wuss when it comes to my first bone break. And I hope I'm knocked out when it happens. Number 49. If you give me chocolate, if you give me the choice of chocolates, every single time I will take dark chocolate over like a lighter chocolate. I've always loved dark chocolate, and I think that was from my dad because he loved Bourneville, and Bourneville is like my guilty pleasure. I love it, and his love of it has transformed onto me. And number 50, finally got there. My biggest pet peeve in life is dealing with people that are rude or late, just normally. I genuinely don't see the point in being rude or being late. It doesn't get you anywhere, and it just annoys everyone else. So that is genuinely my biggest ever pet peeve, and that is absolutely everything. I feel like I've told you about every single aspect of my life, but if you have any questions that you want me to answer, or what I think I might do is, if anyone asks me questions, I might kind of write them down in my notebook and save them up for a kind of Q&A video. So if you have any questions to ask me, be sure to leave them down below. Or if you have a weird or funny fact about yourself, leave them below. I'd love to know if other people are a bit kind of kooky like me. That would be great. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!